Hey everybody. Trying to get the we're trying to get Vim going here. There's always some here we go. Beautiful. Okay, so couple of things for y'all. Very sorry about being late. We're 15 minutes late. Um, we're having some technical issues. Um, that being said, let's uh, okay, so I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of the Rob and Chris Show. And Rob,
Can you see me okay, Chris?
yeah, I can see you
Oh,
great.
good. Here, let's tell the folks over in Wow there is a show. So here we go. Let's
All right,
get them on board.
perfect.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure out the other issue, which we will.
There's always something. Last week, my internet was out, and it was out for like it was out for over 24 hours. I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah, the internet gods are out to get us. I don't know, but we're gonna fight hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are live. Boom. Here, let's get that copied over into the other one. Do you know if anybody are we live actually right now? I guess that's
We are live right now.
Yeah, I want to make sure I don't say anything crazy. Okay. All right. So okay. Do we have guests? Do we have anybody that's watching us right now? Anybody
Not that I'm aware of.
That's okay. They will.
Not that I'm aware. But today was really some bad luck. We're like 15 minutes late. It almost didn't happen.
Right.
So we'll give it some time. We'll see if someone pops. Oh, here's Jeff. Well, Jeff jumped online from YouTube. Hey, Jeff.
There we go. Hey, Jeff. Sorry about the technical problems. This may be my new format. I'll just use my fancy iPhone here. Yes.
There you go.
Is this working?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually seen other people stream from their phones when they're out and about on town.
Right. We got Jeff. We got Jeff, so we're good to go.
That's great. Now I'm going to keep my eye on Vim because we are streaming live to Vim as well. All right. So, man, what a week. What a week. How's your week been, Rob?
Oh, let me think. What is today? I guess that's the first indicator of how my week's been. I don't even know what day it is. It is Wednesday. It's been a tough one. It's not tough. It's been crazy. It's been challenging. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of moving parts.
All right, yeah, same here. There's been big ups, big downs. Spending time here, spending time there. Who do we want to talk to today? Do we want to talk to the people who are just beginning, or do we want to talk to the people who have been coming along for a little while?
I think I want to talk to the people who have been coming along for a little while, actually.
Okay.
That's a great group, actually. That's a big group. That's a big segment, I think, of the total population of marketers and people trying to make money from the comfort of their home. So, yeah, I think that's a really rich territory right there.
Okay, so everybody knows, everyone's out there online. We're all trying to follow our passion, right? Now, this is my question. How long have you been, not you, Rob, particularly, because we all know you've been doing this for like a couple of decades now.
Yes, true.
And we're both completely 100% self-employed from within our own home, which is also great. But for everybody else who's been doing this for a couple of years now, where are you at? Are you making the money you wanted to make? Are you still working that dreaded 9 to 5? What is going on in your world? Because I'm hearing a lot of people, not just a couple of people, but a lot of people on the different mediums of discussion, messaging apps and whatnot.
Right.
And so many of them have jobs.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they go out, they do their job,
Yeah,
then they come home and they work on their online business. Then they go to
right.
sleep, they wake up, they do it all over again.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay, but you got to have an exit strategy. There has to be an off ramp. Otherwise, it's a complete cycle of just doing the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity, right there. So I think maybe that's and the great thing for those watching this, and maybe you'll be watching this recorded. That's the great thing about these shows that you're going to see every Wednesday is we don't really come in. We may have a topic that we're coming in with, but we don't script any of this. This is completely free flowing, which I really enjoy. That's why I like working with Chris because we can just do this and feel comfortable doing it. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, cool. Um, so what would you say the first step to quitting that 9 to 5 job?
I think you have to have the exit ramp. You have to have the exit strategies. You have to have the goals. Okay, so goals have to be they have to be pretty. Obviously they have to be pretty hefty, but you can break it into increments. I mean, I think that clearly if you make, I'm just going to throw a figure out there. Maybe you make $50,000 a year. Okay, just throw that out there, the median figure. So clearly, in order to work from the comfort of your home, you're going to need to make $50,000 a year from your business. So that's your starting point. Now, every dollar you earn and every increment that you make, that's going to get reduced because now I have my regular job and I'm making that much there, and then I'm making maybe $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 projected on an annual basis. So you can start chipping away and saying, I've only got 40,000 to go. I've got 30,000 to go. But these are big numbers, Chris. I think once you start putting this in writing, you can get a little like, oh, I don't, demoralized perhaps, or something like that. So I think that you've got to then go back and say, well, how am I going to do it? And clearly you have to have an income driver. You have to have something that commands a high price. I don't care what it is. It can be anything. I mean, no matter what your niche is, your business. But you've got to put that piece of it together. You've got to have the means. You can do it in residual, or you can do it in singular commissions, residual or singular. But ultimately, it all has to add up. It all has to add up to the figure that you make as your goal. So that's the thing. I think people don't make the goal. They don't sit down and literally formulate the strategy, exactly how it's going to happen. Then B, they don't have the proper income streams to make that happen as well. And they get frustrated. They may be doing good. They may be getting signups into their autoresponder and building their list. But then they start hitting that wall, and you got to decide, am I going to sell 10,000 widgets at $5 a shot, or am I going to sell, 10 widgets at $5,000 a shot? You got to make a decision of what's going to be reasonable and something achievable, something reasonable that you can do. And that's the choice. Choices and options. I'm not going to ever say there's a right way or a wrong way. I like, if you've read my materials, if you've read my blog of various articles as of late, and even years going back. I choose the larger. I have a vested portfolio, so I have the small stuff too. But I like to make sure that I've got the larger income streams too. I get the bulk and majority of my replacement income, if you will, from the larger commissions, the bigger ticket products, if you will. And I that's just me. So maybe I don't want to get too specific about me versus general rules of thumb and whatnot.
Right. No, I understand completely. Yeah, we want to keep it general enough that everyone can take the information and use it for whatever they're doing.
Yes.
I found it very hard just starting out and making my first couple of dollars in any type of online marketing. Everything was very inconsistent. A lot of programs and companies had like really high payouts above $100. And it was insane because you make a little bit of money. You have like $20 in commission sitting there, and they're just sitting and sitting and sitting. And you have that $100 payout minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's, looking at, that's a very long daunting, scary, time consuming wall that a person is just staring at, whether you've been doing this for 2 days or 2 years. I think everyone here can really relate to that.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I think one of the things to overcome that is to, and I hate this is going to be cliche city here, but go out and make it happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go out and make it happen. Put all your resources, all your focus, and say, I am going to. That's a great goal, actually. I'm at 25. I want to get to 100, so I get paid. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to put a little extra focus. That's going to have to be my pick of the day. That's going to have to be what's in my email. That's going to have to be the blog article that I'm writing. That's going to be my YouTube video. And, you know, and I'm going to use the R word. I may go out and try to recruit somebody for this situation that I maybe have an ongoing relationship, or somebody who I think that what I'm offering, what I'm offering could benefit them. And these are A, controversial practices, and B, practices that can, if done wrong, can cause you problems, but practices that if you learn how to actually network with people and have professional conversations and take your time and allow the know, like, and trust, you can win. And I see so many people in the industry that are told, don't do that, don't stop, don't network, don't try to have that type of I call it a selling conversation, but it's just peer to peer. That's what marketers do to each other, right? We're not we're not going to go out and buy candy and flowers and go see the movie down at the local movie theater. We're professional marketer business peer people who can have relationships with each other, conversations with each other, and do it in a way that nobody feels like they're really getting sold to, and nobody feels like they're getting spammed. But it may or may not lead to, and if there's a match, hey, what Chris has, hey Chris, what do you do again? Well, blah blah blah. Yes, I am looking to fill that particular niche, that gap in my portfolio. It could be a tool for my business or whatnot. So we cannot. It's the biggest thing that I get preachy about. It's the biggest difference between me and me personally and many marketers out there, is that I'm not afraid to have that conversation, and I'm not going to hide behind all the reasons why I shouldn't or can have that conversation. I just encourage people to be open, have fun, be free, and talk to people, especially your peers, fellow people that are working online. You could find it very good and very fun at the same time.
I think that's the problem they're in, because I remember coming up in the business world. First, it was offline, because back then there was no online.
Right.
And, coming up, it was all about networking. Who's in your network? How big is your network? Where are you located? And when it wasn't building a network, it's not cold calling people or bugging someone on Messenger with your idiot links. It's nothing like that. Networking is a methodical process of building long-lasting relationships. And you can't build a relationship. Okay, imagine if you're going to ask someone out on a date because you want to build a relationship with this person. So you're going to ask them out on a date. You're not going to go up to them, smack them on their rear end and go, hey, come on, you, me in the backseat of my car now. But that's what these people are doing. They don't understand what networking is. They go on Messenger and they're like, bam,
yeah,
I'm not making any money, but here it is.
That's it. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And in the real world, you don't ask your date to fill out a form on your dating capture page, and then they're going to get your autoresponder emails. They'd probably like to meet you in person, right? I think this would be an issue if Chris is a great example. We've kind of known each other, but it wasn't until we actually did this and had like this type of conversation and chat. I think that really was a moment in our friendship to say, hey, it's just it's a crossover that, I feel silly having to explain it, but just seeing people in Telegram groups or WOW groups or reading their emails or looking at their blogs, it's nothing like them in real life. The person or the business person, either one or the other. I mean, So we're an example of all of this stuff that we're talking about right here.
Yeah, we are. Also, too, Jeff Beeman, who's online in YouTube right now, in the audience, he contacted me. I want to say it was back in 2013, towards the end of 2013. And he just commented on my blog through Facebook. He said, "Hey, I looked at your blog. You ever think about putting it on your own domain?" And then I wrote back to him and told him that I'm on, I forgot the name of the blogging platform back then, but I think it was one of the ones that Google owned. I think it was called Blogger.
Oh yeah, Blogger, yeah.
And I said, yeah, I said, I'm on Blogger to try to build my audience because they have such a huge audience. And then we just started going back and forth. And not only have we known each other and networked since 2013, but we've also bought hundreds of dollars worth of stuff off of each other through the years.
Okay, there you go.
It's just part of the partnership, you know. But it's a long-lasting relationship. If Jeff would have said, "Hey, Chris, you're not blogging right. Here's my link to follow Chef Katrina and learn how to blog properly," we never would have built a relationship. We never would have became friends. If you and I, when we were trying to get together and work together and stuff, had you tried to sell me first, especially if it was like a big ticket item,
yeah,
we never would have gotten together. We never would have formed any type of relationship.
Right.
Because that's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
Mm-mm.
Not how it works.
And I think that's the mistake. That's why it has such a horrible name, because no one's doing it the way they're supposed to.
Well, we sometimes take the bad example and we just paint that as the example, and then we close the door on it, and that's sad. So I'm here, not here, but I'm here in general to fight the good fight and be that guy. It depends on where you're at. I mean, in certain communities, I would be the rule, not the exception. In certain communities, I'm the really weird guy. I'm the exception versus the rule, and I don't know. I like it, I guess, either way. But I think I really like being the exception that can say, hey, it's not so bad after all. Let's maybe use this as a teaching moment. Let's use this as a learning moment. And that's the people that win, that learn from everybody. Not, I like this guy, but I hate that guy. And it's like politics too. Like, I think there's, clearly, I saw a show on TV, and I don't want to get political here, but it was a network that you'd say has a leaning, right? But then they did a show where they had the conservative and the liberal senators do it, and they were, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to just get into it, but they were the wide spectrum. You had the liberal and the conservative, and it was a great show. And I learned from each party. I learned a lot. Like, wow, people need to watch more of that, and then you start to understand where people are coming from. Just like when I talk, people probably understand where I'm coming from, but they may have preconceived notions of me that somehow in a group or something, and they're like, wow, I didn't really think that that's what you would say about that, because a little blurb of text and a long expounded paragraph are much different. So I just think, all the cliches, we all need to learn from each other. We all need to get along. We all need to have respect in these platforms and whatnot that we live in, and I think we all can really do great things the more we network and partner and be open to new learnings, because I can learn something every day. I think all of us could probably agree to that.
Oh yeah, I definitely really learned something every day, because I noticed someone they were upset with me the other day. We were having a conversation. They wanted to know what I did for a living. And I said, I have a couple online businesses. Like, oh, you're a scammer.
Oh, yeah, you're a scammer.
I was like, wow, no one has ever said that to me before. When I said I have online businesses, no one has ever just come out and said, wow, you're a scammer.
Wow.
And that was their opinion.
Yeah.
Their opinion of.
Yeah.
Oh, it was craziness. So I had to explain to them that, I'm on eBay, I'm on Hive, I'm on a couple other channels. And then they started to get it that, oh, so not all online businesses out to rip you off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard because there's just so many scams out there. And if you put yourselves in their shoes, I do a lot of I have a lot of brand new people that I work with, like people that would be called the business opportunity seekers that are green as green can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process. I'm always looking to perfect that right conversation, that right next step, that next, because you can see like somebody today they were reluctant to give me their email address just so I could confirm their account in a program that I own. I just needed to see what they typed versus what showed in my admin area. And I started thinking, I bet you they think like, or somebody next to them, maybe the husband, whatnot, the brother, the nephew, like, oh, don't give him your email address. He's a
Mm-hmm.
scammer. And that's sad. And and I'm not, but I got to figure out a way somehow to overcome this, like we all do, because we're losing good people that we could help, honestly. So it's a problematic thing, and scammers call people, scammers email people, scammers text people. So that's all of our our mediums. I just named there. So I think to what you said earlier, Chris, it's just that long. Maybe I come back tomorrow. Maybe it's just that long-term process, and reading. That's where reading emails comes into play, or a consistent blog that person says, "Wow, this has now been a month, and I'm still seeing the same message," and those walls maybe start breaking down at some point. So all the platforms coming together is really important. I like I said, I don't want to exclude anything from my online business, or I shouldn't say online business, my home business, my work at home business. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
exclude anything, right? I don't want to exclude anything, whether that be this platform, the studio, the Restream, or Zooms, or the good old cell. So I'm looking for my cell phone. I don't know where I put it. The good old. I was going to hold it up as a demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
The good old phone call. Like I don't want to exclude anything, I don't want to not send emails, and I don't want to not do anything. I want to be active in all mediums, and that's how maybe we can break down these walls, because we're coming at it different. General scammers usually a one trick pony for the most part, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
No, that's true. That is true. They are. I think what happens is people get involved with a thing, or they have a friend who's gotten involved with an online business, and they lost money, or their friend lost money, lost time, got embarrassed in their peer groups, and just didn't really go anywhere with it. So in their mind, they got scammed, they got ripped off, and they're never going to let it happen again. And
Yeah.
that's what colors them, because Walmart sells millions of dollars in merchandise and services online every single day. They advertise in print, radio, television, and online. They send all kinds of emails out to people, plus snail mail. Not a
Yes.
week goes by, I don't get a Walmart flyer in my mailbox.
Right. Right.
You
All
know,
me. Yeah.
exactly. And they do it constantly. They
Yeah.
want to be in front of you as much as they possibly can.
Yeah. That's right.
That's business.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. Yeah. That's no like and trust.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, no one ever thinks they're going to get ripped off at Walmart. If you buy something, you take it home, you don't like it because whatever reason, you just take it back to any
Right.
Walmart. Not the same Walmart, any Walmart. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No scam there, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to accuse them of marking up their products,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think that's funny with affiliate marketers, right? You go through the time, you spend a couple hours, you write a really good article. The article instructs someone on how to do something. So there are people reading your article and they're learning how to do stuff. Because you have links in your article, you got to put at the bottom of the article that if they click the links, you might make some money. So how come YouTube doesn't have to put at the bottom of their site that the more time you spend watching videos on their site, the many more millions of dollars they make every second?
Yeah. Right.
Walmart doesn't have to do it. McDonald's doesn't have to do it. None of them have to do it online. But if we try to make money online, we have to do it.
Sure. Yeah. That's the little guy syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The little guy syndrome. But yeah, we fight the good fight, do we not?
Yeah,
We
it's
fight the
it's
good fight.
it's just crazy because it's it really is a fight where you're trying to fight to educate people. Um, because I got to tell you something, man. I'm old, I'm tired, I'm sick, and I'm grumpy. My health is compromised, and I can't work 16, 15-hour days anymore. Just can't do it. It's not physically possible. And yet, I can do it. I can make money online. I have a good amount of income coming in. I have an anchor, and then I have other things out there for future growth. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You can do it from anywhere. All you need is a phone, just a phone. That's
Yeah.
it. And you can do all. There are people in Nigeria right now. Now, I don't know if you guys know anyone from Nigeria, but in Nigeria, they have hurdles that we don't have here in America, Europe, Australia. For instance, when I wake up in the morning, I know my power is on. I'm not going to have rolling blackouts. Those guys, they wake up in the morning, they might not have any power. They show up to work, the factory might not have any power. Could you imagine living like that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And yet there's millions of them online right now building their business from their cell phones.
Yeah. And there are free ways. There are free ways still to do some things. Now, I like to show people when I'm working with a client. I like to use the term client, but there are, it's a lot quicker in business to have some finances and some investment. Clearly, it's the quicker picker up, or it's the quicker way to do it. But I've learned that even folks that are unwilling or unable to have resources right at the immediate, right there to put down in a business, there are some ways they can still operate. It just may take them longer. It's a slower process, but that's been a recent learning of mine, because I've generally fell into that school of hey, you're out then, goodbye, see ya. And I was throwing a lot of I wasn't doing like Wendy's. I'll give them a free plug. And the Wendy's chili, where the broken hamburger goes into the chili, I was letting a lot of people off the table. And I've developed some really good people in my network, so to speak, of people who came in through the kind of the free system, the free portal, that end of it. So I embrace it either way. I think that people who want to do it quicker, yes, there's a really solid path that way. But I would say it's more, I hate to say unwilling, because unwilling is not a good mindset to have in life and business, but unable is, I think, the better way to put it. Just cannot fiscally do anything. There is still hope. I think that's also a thing I've recently kind of more embraced.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why, I mean, there are a lot of programs out there that have free levels, so everyone can start out and start building, start doing, start
Yeah.
getting that confidence. Um, and then when they're ready, they can upgrade sometime down the road. I was one of those people that was trying to build something for free, and it was very difficult because
Sure.
I wanted free hosting,
Oh,
a
yeah.
free autoresponder, and
Yes. Yeah.
it wasn't really working. So I decided to start selling stuff on eBay and taking the money from there and then paying for the online business that way.
Well, there you go. That's creative.
It
Yeah.
worked out well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's kind of like here's a commandment of business. It's a commandment of commandments too. Do unto others. So here's the problem with free. Nobody gets paid in a free scenario, right? So I
Mhm.
refer Chris over as a free. Hey, great free thing. Um, Now there are exceptions to that. There are different, when we talk about some of the things in the free world. There are some ways that could lead to something monetary as well. So I don't want to, but as a general rule, people that tell me, you know what, give me it for free, give me the product for free, right? That's also known as stealing, shoplifting, whatever. But give me the product for free, and I will go out and I will promote it, and I'll, set the world on fire. And I'm like, hey, wait, what happened to Rob here? I mean, okay, so all right, I got nothing from that. I got nothing from that deal, right? So we have to take care of ourselves as business people. If we feel that is kind of if you would be ruffled by what I just said, you don't have a good business mindset. We are business people. We need to look at our cost. We need to look at our selling price. We need to look at our gross margin profits levels. As a site owner, maybe that sells credits, and if I'm selling for $5, is that enough to, like Chris said earlier, is that enough to pay for my autoresponder and my hosting? So run your business like a business, treat it like a business, and be open-minded to, if you are one that is able but unwilling, think about would you want that to happen to you? You get this great killer person and they come to you and they say, hey, you know what, I'm not willing to pay for it, just give it to me. And it's a cycle that goes on and on and on. How can you ask then, how can that person who I've given this for free, I've given them this thing for free, how can they then in good conscience go out and ask somebody to pay money for it? Right? Think about that. It's an illogical, that's why it doesn't work. That's why you've got to put skin in the game as best you can. And I'm speaking right now to the ables, not the unables, but the ables. The ables need to wake up and say and realize this is a business like anything else, and you are building a brand, you're building a legacy, and think of it as a franchise as well. Nobody's going to give you a McDonald's for free. Nobody's going to give you a Burger King for free. Nobody's going to give you much for free in the offline world. And until we really wake up to that reality and start treating online the same way, it becomes this kind of insane cycle.
Yep, I agree. All right, so let's wrap it up here.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
I want to ask Jeff, does he know Dave Beeman? I knew a Dave Beeman.
I don't know. Are you still online, Jeff?
Is Jeff still with us?
I have no idea.
Okay, that was just a question.
I don't. Yeah,
I knew a Dave Beeman years ago online.
Mm-hmm.
So who else? Can you read who else is here so I can say hello to?
We have Macy.
Macy's from the WOW Group. Hi, Macy. Thanks for coming over.
And those are the only two that texted.
Okay, I got you. But many, many other viewers, I'm sure. So a lot of shy people, and that's fine. All good. All good. No, I've got nothing else. I think it was. I think I hopefully I put some good nuggets, a few golden nuggets out there to the folks.
Oh, Jeff just said, Dave Beeman from where?
Just in general, internet marketing, site owner.
Okay. Yeah, probably not. All right. My final. Oh, okay. My final thoughts for the show: spamming is not relationship building.
That's a good one. Yes.
Spamming is not relationship building. Oh, and Linda's here. Linda Harkness just popped in.
Oh, hi, Linda.
Yeah, she's here. And sorry if I mispronounced your name. I apologize for that. All right, everyone.
And you'll have a recording, right, Chris?
Oh yeah. The replays will go up on Hive. The replays will come up in YouTube, Facebook, and I'll put one up on the site, on my site, and give you the link so you can download it, and then you can do whatever you want with it at that point.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
All right. Well,
all right, guys. All right, great show.
See you next week, everybody.
See you next week.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Next week, no, I have to say, that's my wedding anniversary next week. I think we'll probably be taking a week off on that, Chris.
Okay, no problem. I'll make an email and let everybody know.
So it's the Chris show, not the Chris and Rob show next week. So
yeah, you know what? I'll go on next week.
Yeah.
And I'll just say that, it's your anniversary, and I wish you a happy anniversary. 26 years. Yeah. Oh, 26. Holy crap. That's a long time, man. Good job.
Years. Yeah, I was married when I was 3 years old, so I'm only 29 years old. So. All right.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Take care. Good night.